Hi, this is Valerie Leonard. I am the founder of nonprofit Utopia. We are here today with our R3 Capacity Building and Beyond program. We are hosting a mastermind group with our cohort from North Lawndale, and today we're just going to get a sense for one, where people are in terms of their organizational development. We have not necessarily filmed the organizational assessment part. We believe that information is proprietary, but we did want to come and share with you where people are in terms of their program concepts. This is helpful for all of us because it helps us to keep on track. And then once we hear ourselves commit to something, hopefully that helps us to actually follow through. And then when we commit to something in front of others, that will also help. So today we've got Pablo Mendoza. He's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat this go round, and he is going to answer a few questions, and if any others in the group want to ask him questions, they can feel free. So the first thing we're going to do is ask Pablo to remind the group, what the name of his organization is that he's representing today. Tell us a little bit about the organization before we get into the nitty-gritty of our interview.
Thank you, Valerie. Not necessarily for putting me in the hot seat, for giving me this opportunity to learn a little bit and help bring our company a little bit more forward. So I'm a director at the Prison Neighborhoods Art and Education Project. We primarily teach inside of Stateville Prison, usually classes around arts. That has then developed into a partnership with Northeastern Illinois University, where we are now a degree granting program inside of Stateville Correctional Center. That work has transitioned out to the outside because of a lot of the work that we did, and my portion of that is being the director of Walls Turn Sideways. That is our street initiative, where we try to connect the neighborhood portion of our name to the actual neighborhoods of the community members which we serve. After long research and a lot of hard work, we've come to find ourselves on the west side, California and Madison. It's been a long journey to find a space on the west side because of this investment on the west side, and we've come to the realization that we had to narrow our focus down to make sure that we're serving our constituents. I mean, not our constituents, but our stakeholders in the way that we have been traditionally, and stepping out incrementally. So we've narrowed our focus to being in art gallery space for incarcerated and ex-incarcerated artists primarily. We will then use that to extend that connective tissue to the families of all those who are directly impacted, and helping them provide services along the lines of health, and that can range from mental health to physical health. Some community building, where we allow the space for the community members to come in there and just meet some of their needs and utilize the space. One of the things that's lacking in these communities are space for folks to congregate. We want to make sure we provide that. We will be also providing a connection with the folks on the inside through art, where we will be exhibiting art and creating programming around that art for folks. So that's the art component of it. And then the fourth and final component will be a political education component, where we will be bringing forth different legislations that are being presented and different issues that are affecting the community, so that the community is aware of what's going on and can get involved, maybe exercise their agency and pushing forward some issues that are affecting them, and learning more about being collective agents in this citizenry.
Okay, awesome. So the last time we talked about this, you told us that you were working on your space, right? You're getting ready to inspect the building, the mechanical and then final inspection. Where are you in that process?
Right. Well, we were a little bit farther behind in that process. We were needing, to shore up a couple of different plumbing issues that arose. Of course, we were retrofitting the space to fit our needs from needs that were there beforehand. So that caused a lot of scheduling issues among contractors and ourselves, because as we're doing that, simultaneously we're in there with electricians and carpenters to put up walls, put in the electrical. Through this all, we're trying to do programming and the inside and all that we got going on the outside. And we've come to the point now where I just signed the check for the last part of the drywall and all that stuff. So our walls are up, our toilets are working. All we're waiting for is the city to show up and sign off on our stuff, and for me to do maybe a little bit of painting and some cleanup. We do have some stuff pending, but because we are a scrappy organization, there are a lot of stuff we do ourselves, right? So we got to pull up our sleeves and finish a floor, do some painting, and maybe buy a little furniture so people can have a place to sit. So we will be having a soft launch for our members, our community members who have brought this to fruition, and that will be taking place November 17, 2023. Unfortunately, it's not open to the public. This is specifically for the stakeholders who have helped bring this vision to fruition. However, stay tuned. Shortly, January will be the official launch for the space, where we will be offering programming and we're making it open for the community.
Okay, so that's January. Do you have a date, or did I miss it?
Oh, no, I do have the date. I just texted my folks because we've been actually moving. Oh, January 19th. We've been moving it back and forth due to the fact that people are off for Christmas, and we have all these different people coming back to work. So we didn't want to make it like immediately where you had to come through something after having come back from vacation. So after further thought, we landed on January 19th for our hard open, so that people can come in, get situated, and then come see the space. I have one additional update I would like to make, and that's that we received an additional $50,000 funding for 3 years. So that's $150,000 for the next 3 years. And that makes that our third round of long-term funding. So we sit pretty good for the following 3 years, which is where we will reevaluate and see if there are additional or other needs that need to be met. We came into this with the focus and the knowledge that we have of the system and the community, but we know that in this partnership we will grow together, and what we're seeing now might not exist in the future. It might look a little different, but that's what we're here for, is to build a community.
Okay, that's beautiful. So the $150,000 grant over 3 years. What funding source is that?
Oh, I cannot say off the top of my head because we have.
Okay.
I'm working on finance and everything else. I can't. Not for not wanting to say, but not because I do not have the memory for that. Right?
Okay, well, yeah, that's great. But it's from a public source.
Yes, these are public sources.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome! Congratulations. And that's a violence prevention type of grant or capacity building grant?
These are capacity building grants. We don't work directly in violence preventions.
Okay.
So we work mostly around art.
Got it.
But we do reentry, and a lot of what we're focusing on is in the healing portion. We believe all of this is holistic, and economic development is something that we're looking to be focused on as well.
Got it.
All right, you can't be healthy without having the money to go buy some healthy food or to go buy some medication. So we want to make sure that we're trying to address a little bit of everything. But like I said, these are incremental step outs. But we will first be focusing on our art gallery space, and then slowly building that momentum to fill the needs of the community, and not the ones that we perceive are needed.
Okay. So one of the things you talked about before was needing to understand community needs. So that suggests to me that you'll probably be working on a community needs assessment. Is that true?
That is true. Yes. We will be embarking on a needs assessment for the community, but that requires us to make contact with the community. So part of the next portion of the build out is making that contact. So we're trying to squeeze time in there to go out there and knock on some doors and just meet the people where they're at. I've driven like to and from all work like every day for like the last, I don't know, 6 months, and I'm starting to see who are the regulars out there. Who are We have a congressman right down the street from us who has been awesome and supportive. So
awesome.
I want to make sure that we meet all levels of community members, right? Those influential political members, those that are paying like tax paying members, and then also those that are out there struggling and maybe currently find themselves in a tough position.
Okay, so I can help you structure that if that's okay, if that's something you would like to do.
That is more than okay.
Okay. So I can help you structure that, and it's good that you want to talk to a broad base of stakeholders. You know, all too often when we do this work, we might focus on one type of person. You know, it might be just the people who are receiving services, or it might be just the people who are giving the service. But it seems to me like you're looking at everybody who is impacted, whether, you know, they've had some direct experience with the with law enforcement or not. So that's awesome.
Right. So I think a lot of this is shaped by like my background. I'm a researcher.
Okay,
Some of the research I'm involved in is participatory. So participatory
excellent.
action research is actually some of the backbone of what's going on around here. We want to make sure that we're going in the community, make sure the community is part of all this evaluation process, part of giving them the information,
Got it.
part of the building. So because they are the ones that are very familiar with the issues and that need to be dealt with, and I'm from Little Village,
Yeah.
a little bit outside this area, as I mentioned earlier in the conversation we had. Regionally, everything looks a little different. So you know, I bring my knowledge, and I hope that this a collective of knowledge builds the answers that we need. You know, what I'm saying, to address some of the issues that are affecting our communities.
Okay. Awesome. Does anyone from the mastermind have any questions so far before we go to the next? No questions? Alrighty. So when we spoke about your goals last time, you indicated that you want to get this process down so you can get funding, and thank God you've gotten some funding for one organization, and I believe that you'll be transferring some of that knowledge to another organization that you'll be starting. You indicated that you scored very low the first time, and I'm assuming that that's the pre-test score. And you and we could sit down and go over your post-test scores. From what I've seen, and I did not study individual scores, but as a group, this cohort has more than doubled their knowledge based on pre and post test scores. So I need to calculate those and then give you your individual score versus the cohort. You also said something to the effect that you want to routinely share space and resources, and when you say share space and resources, who is that with?
Well, that's what kind of you were mentioning. I would be sharing this, with my organization currently, and then the one I look to bring up. But in my organization and the one I look to bring up, there are partnerships,
Gotcha.
and these partnerships are deep. We built a tight community, and I'm of the type that if there's a well of resources, I'm going to make sure everybody's aware of this so that we can all drink from the well. R3 is new. It's currently plentiful. It's being developed. I'm helping develop that process as well. And in there, I'm serving as a medium for the folks that were having trouble with the R3 grant, to those who are on the board, which I am, and those who are like maneuvering the money. I see you to transfer the information of what are the issues, how we can maybe come out and address those issues, but also how to make the money obtainable for those small organizers like ourselves, who don't have policy grant writers on our team, and it's people like the Real Youth Initiative, who are a group of scrappy young individuals who have just been released out of IYC, that is our youth facilities, and have and said, what, this is not how you treat children. We want to imagine something different. They're going in there and doing that. They are not grant writers. These are kids 20-something years old, but these are the people who I'm trying to make this available to. So we also have and people who are helping me currently in the process of getting my place in order. The tool library, they're out here providing a great service, but they are suffering from financial issues as well, and I want to make sure that they're up and running when I need them next time. So I want to make sure that I share my resources with them. But we also have different arts organizations like Nothing Without a Company, who is actually creating a play about R3 and how the funding is going on, and that's something that I feel is something that needs to be addressed as well, because though this is an awesome pool of money, there are a lot of issues around it, and I think those conversations are important to be had. So these are just a few of the people that I could just name off the top of my head that can use these services. There are many more who are out here doing great work that I can think about, that some would even put in for the R3 grant because it's so difficult. And if our little group can maybe make a difference in that, then we've done our duty.
Okay. Oh, so you basically want to pay it forward.
Well, this, as I mentioned this is holistic. I can't do every portion of it. It takes partnership. It takes ending the silos. And I think this is just a step in that direction.
Okay. And then we had another question of you. How do you want us to hold you accountable?
Oh yeah. So accountability, that's something I think I struggle with myself. I'm gonna use an I statement because I don't like people telling me what to do, but I know I got a lot to do, and then I have a very short time to do it.
Right.
So having spaces like this where I have to space to come in here and work and actually have the ability to ask for help. I'm very technically challenged, so I need a lot of assistance. Being here and have somebody I can turn to and ask a question to, that helps because it takes away the procrastination, and it allows me to actually deal with what I have to deal with, and I have to deal with a side issue to get to the thing, to figure out how that's done, to then do it. And that I guess it's more of a crutch that I'm asking than an accountability, but it's a chink in my armor that I need to fill up, and I'm hoping that in this process, this repetitive process, I do that.
Oh, that is awesome. Alrighty, so the last thing is, you and I will probably be checking in, once or twice a week, just to make sure that, you stay on track. There's a lot that all of us need to accomplish between now and December 31st. So that may take, more than just a weekly meeting.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that completes the questions that I had. Did you have any final?
I just want to make one last point about the progress that we've made in the grant or the R3 grant process.
Okay.
that has been like large part due to individuals like yourself and Tina who have like lend us their time. What I'm saying, to actually get here. This thing has caused me grace. I was gonna say pull my hair out, but that'd probably be a lie. But I did it. Now when I say about grace,
look at mine.
it is.
He
This
got
is
nothing on me.
this is a difficult process. We've been at this for over a year. It's still difficult. This is something that we hope to cure, so that we make it a little bit more efficient and easier to obtain. And we're not here hammering out hours and hours and hours and hours of grant writing when that can be used to do hours and hours and hours of good programming. We need to find a way to change this process, something more equitable, something more obtainable, and we're starting the process now, but we can use a lot more help.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
I think we're good.
Okay, great. Thank you.